It's the week of the 2023 NFL Draft, and that means it's time for 7-round A-plus mock drafts for every team, and this is the one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very few teams have this much capital. 4 picks in the top 80, and the draft is falling perfectly for you to fill them all. I'm Jeremy Green of thesportsocracy.com and ESPN Radio Asheville. They call me Mullet Mel. They call me Floster Dumbass. And this is the Pittsburgh Steelers A-plus 7-round mock draft. Starting at 17, I considered a lot of players here. Thought about Joey Porter Jr., just not sure he's going to get there. The way the board's going to fall, I struggle to believe that Washington is going to let that last corner get by them. So I take Nolan Smith, linebacker out of Georgia. Raw athleticism, great team leader, 6'2", 240 pounds, ran a 4.39 40, and this kid is just a bulldog on tape. I think he can play on the outside. I think he can line up on the inside. I think you're going to be able to just move this kid around and use his unbelievable toughness and athleticism. And Pittsburgh's just going to find a place to put him because that's what they do. I look at Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt mixed with this guy, mixed with Cam Hayward, mixed with a couple of players I'm going to take later on in this. And now the defense is really formidable and going to be damn near impossible to throw on because that pass rush is going to fly all over the place. First pick of the second round from the Chicago Bears in the Chase Claypool deal, number 32 overall, Anton Harrison, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. I cannot take him in the first round. Now, do I think he can come in and play right away? I do. I think he has an upside that's not quite as high as the Broderick Jones and the Skoronskis, Paris Johnson. That's why he's just in another tier to me, and he fits perfectly with the Pittsburgh Steelers because he's so ready to play right now. He played left tackle in college, and I think he can do that in the NFL. You're just going to have to understand that he's coming from the Big 12 where you had all these little teeny-ass pass rushers, and he did a pretty good job with it. Great hands, really good at setting in pass pro. I'm just not sure that he's ever going to be a road grader in the run game the way that Broderick Jones could, and that's what pushes him down. But he can come in and play right away, and that really, to me, I'm not going to say completes it, but my God, you have really improved that line over the course of the last 2 years. Number 49 overall in the second round, Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. If we were just talking raw tape, he's a top 20 player. There have been some personality concerns, some off-the-field red flags that people have pushed him down. The tape is phenomenal. I think he can play in a slew of different schemes. He's got good enough speed. He's got the body frame, all the things you could really ask for. I had him in the top 20, and I've been routinely told that some teams have taken him off the board. It's going to push him down a little bit, and I think a really strong organization is going to pick him and get a great value of a player because I can't really verify any of these things, and I think some of it's just smoke. He's one of the best corners in this class and would be an elite value at 49. Third round, pick number 80. This is a player that will be in the middle of this defense for a long time. Siaki Ika, defensive tackle out of Baylor. Started at LSU. He's 335 pounds. I always wanted a little more from him. And I really think the tape this past year was we had an expectation that he was going to take a step forward, and he really didn't. Look, there's not a ton of defensive tackles in this class. He showed up at the combine doing the weird belly shirt thing. And he didn't test particularly well. I'm not shocked by that at all. He's a big body that despite some athletic limitations, has been able to diagnose things well enough to be really good. He just never took the next step. So it could be that there isn't a next step, at which case then I think you're fine here at 80. If there is a next step, this is an elite value and could be your nose tackle for a long, long time. I really need this kid to get stronger, though. He's strong, and he's big, good anchor, all of those things. He just needs to progress. Fourth round, number 120 overall. This is a kid that dominated the Senior Bowl. I know you just went out and got Allen Robinson. That's more of a 1 year, 2 year rental to me. this is what Pittsburgh does. They take receivers in the third, fourth round and turn them into stars, and I think this kid could be the next one. Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. 4.45 40. I really – the Ohio State tape was tantalizing and infuriating at the same time. And I think it really explains why you're going to be able to get him here. The quarterback play would drive you crazy because this kid put on a clinic. And yet, it could have been better. It could have been better because he did not have a big-time D1 quarterback throwing to him. And that's really one of my big curiosities with this kid is you were covered a lot and you're really good at the point of the catch. Then I saw him run, and you shouldn't have had this many issues with that. I think it's because of the quarterback play. I saw that at the Senior Bowl, and I think this kid's just a bulldog, and he's going to go to a smart team like Pittsburgh that has a history of doing this with receivers, and he'll be the next one that turns into a star at the next level. Finally, 2 picks in the 7th round, and these are 2 late-round flyers. First, Tanner Engel, safety out of NC State. That's a guy they've had in the building, really good against the run, offers virtually nothing against the pass. The 4.53 40 at the pro day makes me feel like maybe there's more to him than I've seen on tape. It would not be the first time, and look, I'm not saying this because we're Carolina affiliates. I'm saying this because I've seen it happen too many times. It wouldn't be the first time that an NC State player, they didn't get the most out of him, whether they transfer to another school or they go into the league and they get better, and there's a few of those in this class. I don't necessarily know that this kid was coached all that well because he does move well. It's just there were times he was an absolute liability in coverage. Could be the scheme, could not. Pittsburgh has shown an interest, and I think he would be a nice complement in the times that you move Minkah Fitzpatrick around. Last pick, 7th round, 251 overall, Robert Beal, edge rusher out of Georgia. All right, if the NFL was the Olympics, Robert Beal would be a second-day pick because he is a big man, 6'4", 250 pounds, ran a 4.48 40. I think he's going to stand up at the next level because he is really good as a situational pass rusher. There's just virtually no production whatsoever. Now, he played at Georgia, so there were a lot of players in front of him. That's my thought, is that on another team, you probably would have shown better. You would have gotten more opportunities. I don't know that he's ever going to hold up against the run. I'm not going to say he was a liability against the run because that's just not true, but he wasn't great against it, and I don't see that getting better in the NFL. Just a really small sample size. He only started 10 times in 5 years. So I just don't have enough tape on this kid. The raw is really good. If you're patient with him, you might be able to get something out of him. And I'm thinking to start a 4th rotational edge rusher with the intention of eventually he takes a little of the pass rush weight off of Highsmith and TJ Watt. If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, if you just want to call me a big mullet dipshit, feel free to do that in the comments. I answer as many of those as I can. It is the week of the draft, so I can't promise I get to all of them. We will also be putting out my 7-round, minute-long reels, TikToks, whatever you want to call those things, of every prospect that I think gets drafted and where. We'll be putting those out one at a time over the entire week, leading up to our live coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft. Every pick, all of our analysis live right here on YouTube.